Welcome back to the This Day podcast, where we connect real life, real people, and real stories. Tune in to a brand new episode happening right now. Make sure you click the links in our descriptions to find out more about our sponsors and resources where you can dive in deeper to your faith journey. And now, dive in to today's episode. Friends, a quick word from our sponsor before we jump into the episode today. You can check out all of our ministry books and resources available on Amazon, so go check those out. Now, let's hit the episode. Darin and Brooke, it's so good to have y'all on the podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. So people that may be new to who you guys are, your music, everything, just introduce yourselves and share a little bit about who you all are.
Well, we're Darin and Brooke Aldridge. We are from North Carolina. We live just outside of Shelby, North Carolina, the home of Earl Scruggs and Don Gibson. And we live in a little community called Cherryville. And we've been going strong close to 18 years now. And this is our 11th album. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
And this is our first full gospel project, our newest release that's coming out. And we're just glad to be talking with you today. We're out here actually on tour now. We played in Branson last night, and we're in St. Louis today. So we're coming to you from the hotel room. But it's all good.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so you guys just put out a new project called Soul Condition. Let's talk about it. What all went into making this project? Share some of your favorite songs off the project, everything.
Well, this is an album. We've been holding on to some songs from our past for a long time, from our childhood, songs that we remember here in church. It's an all gospel album, songs that we remember our parents playing, around the house when we were getting ready for church, or just because they wanted to play some music around the house. Some songwriters pitched us some stuff for this album as well. We did some covers of a few tunes that we wanted to kind of recreate and bring back around that hadn't been heard in a long time. So we just, we're excited to have this new music out and songs that we feel like people are going to relate to. And hopefully they haven't heard some of the songs. So.
Yeah, absolutely. What was something when you guys were making this album that just, took you back to your childhood? What was one of those songs that you were like, man, I remember listening to this growing up, like just a wholesome memory?
Probably a song for me would be I'll Wear a White Robe. My pastor and his wife used to sing that song in church often. And then as I got older and started taking more to singing, they had taught me this song through the years. So I got up one Sunday and sang it, and it just thrilled them to death. But as I got older and started having my own band, I introduced this song, and so it's just been a song that's kind of stuck with me for a long time. And then of course Darin already knew it. It's kind of funny, like we already knew a bunch of songs and had the same kind of love for the same type of music when we met. So it was really easy just to be like, hey, do you know this? And he'd be like, yeah. Or he'd be like, you know this? And I'd be like, yeah. So it just went hand in hand for what we wanted to do, and what the music, the music we put out through the years, I feel like it's pretty cool that we already knew a lot of the same tunes.
That's so fun. Okay, so you guys are known as a duo in bluegrass music. Take us back to the beginning. How did you guys first meet, connect, and you were like, oh my word, we both have this mutual love of bluegrass music?
Yeah, it was our families from Western North Carolina that kind of paired us together. And a lot of my cousins had told me about Brooke there from Avery County, and same thing. She went to church with my great aunt and went to school and played volleyball and basketball with a couple of my cousins. And as I was traveling at that time, I'm a few years older than Brooke. They was telling Miss Brooke, hey, my cousin's out on tour with a professional bluegrass band, and we know you sing country and bluegrass. Would love for you to meet him. And I started hearing the stories about Brooke in high school and college, of how good she could sing, and she was out touring. So after about a year and a half of that, we finally met one day, and I come to fill in a position in the band that she had there back home. And we've met and started singing together, and I heard her beautiful voice and how powerful she was. And we started this performing some together. I would take her to festivals with me, and if I had some other gigs and that kind of thing. And of course, Dayton started following shortly after that. And we had a lot of the same goals and ambitions in life, and the Lord put us together, that's for sure. And we're both thankful for that. And we've been going strong ever since, and building a career and a vision for our music and what we wanted to represent in the country, bluegrass, and gospel world. And we've been able to merge all those together into one Darin and Brooke type of version of music.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, y'all play the Opry quite frequently here in Nashville. Most people that probably will listen to this are not from Nashville, so that is like the spot to visit. What has been one of your favorite Opry highlights, Opry moments from your time playing there?
There's a bunch. I would have to say we put out a gospel song several years back called "He's Getting Me Ready," and we got to go out on the stage and do that live with the Oak Ridge Boys, who recorded it with us. So that was really cool, because I've been a big fan of theirs for a long time, since I was a little kid, and they've always been cheerleaders for us since we got to know them. So it was pretty special to stand in that circle and sing that song with them, knowing all that they've done down through the years and touched people's lives through their music. So that was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's cool. And we got to sing Elvira with them right after that. So even better, just as growing older, as we've been youngsters, watching the Opry on TV and listening to it and seeing a lot of our heroes out there, like, Vince Gill and Ricky Skaggs and others. And to get to stand on stage back when they used to still let the Opry members, host a segment, a 30-minute spot. Both of those guys got to introduce us and talk about us and have performed with us, and sing with us there. So that was one of the coolest moments for me. That's what I got into music for, and become a great fan of the Opry and country, was listening to folks like that, and Emmylou and Dolly and Patty Loveless and so many, and they've all been there to see us perform and become friends with them, over the years. And that's been a great treasure.
That's wonderful. Now, one last question. What is some of the best piece of advice you guys have been given on your journey? There's so many young people that are coming up in music, coming up in the bluegrass genre. What advice would you give them, or what is some advice that you've received?
I would just say to give advice to somebody else, and advice we've been given down through the years as well, but just always remain true to who you are. Be genuine. Don't try to put on and act like somebody that you're not, because your genuineness, that's going to go further than anything for you in life.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, cut out your own path and be your own artist. Don't copycat someone else. And that's hard when you get going because of your influences. And we've both had that from everything, but you want to take all those and mold them into yourself. And you only do that with time and growing older as an artist.
That's great. Now, where can people find you? How can they download your music? How can they keep up?
You can find us on all the digital media platforms, as far as Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes, all that stuff. You can also find us at darinandbrookealdridge.com. That's our website. Of course, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So YouTube, any of those great channels, you can find Darin and Brooke.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for hopping on and being with us today. We just appreciate it, and we're cheering you on in all
Well, thank you much.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Friends, head over and check out our friends over at Dwell Apparel. They are a faith-based clothing company, and they have some really, really amazing apparel for summer, for spring. You don't want to miss it. Use code MEGFEVERYEAR to get 15% off your order.